Hello, chat.
I don't even know if
Oh, you're not
anybody's
recording
on.
it, are you?
No. I don't know if anybody's on or not.
You should probably wait a little bit more. When people actually have an in here or starting to come back home. See what they're doing and all that. Just saying.
Careful, Ronnie.
I will. Don't you worry. I can handle my own. I might have always seemed like a weakling
Just
my entire life, but it's been the
watch
last few
out
years
for...
that I've learned how to fight for myself.
Hi, Rachel. How are you? How was your Easter, honey? Hey, Oreo. Someone said hello. What do you think about that, buddy? I don't know what he's doing, Rachel. I have no clue. Yeah, it has been nice and quiet. Your back to the camera. Shame on you. Shame on you, buddy. What, bud? Oh. Oh, buddy. Aw. Yeah, when I go to sleep, he's usually by my feet till I fall asleep, and then he'll go in Ronnie's room. And then my girl, she's above my head on the pillow behind my pillow. Oh my goodness, I'm tired. I don't know why, just tired early today. Yeah, it's just like one of those, I hate to say it, but it's like one of them kind of days. It was a little nice out, and now it's getting, I don't know, dreary. Oh my goodness. Definitely too early to be tired, but I was up really early cooking, so I was up way early cooking, like 6 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, I am a little tuckered. Hello. Hi, Audrey. How are you? What, baby? What, baby? Oh. It was a nice Easter. It was quiet, but it was nice. I mean, I guess everybody basically had a quiet Easter, you know? Excuse me. Excuse me. Yes, Rachel. They are actually used to going out, but since we moved here, I haven't let them out that much because I don't trust traffic around here. So I actually have to get new harnesses for them before I would let them go out. Well, I didn't have an internet Easter. I wasn't even on Facebook that much, to be honest. I was on it this morning and then that's it. I really haven't been on Facebook much lately. Dilemmas with my oldest son and his wife, and so I prefer to, yeah, just stay off of Facebook. Oh, because the cats can get it from other cats or people. I mean, I guess both actually. Yeah, I mean that makes sense. Definitely makes sense. Oh, thank you. Brush him out a lot. He still gets hairballs on occasion, but we try to keep up with the combing him and brushing him. He has a tiny little bald spot on his ear, and that is from horsing around with my girl, and she got him an ear. I could always tell when they're tussling around because he'll miss a little bit of hair in his ear. I'm talking about you, and I'm talking about Miss Feisty. Yep, I see the ear twitch. Oh my gosh, you've given me the stink eye. Wow. He is giving me a stink eye like you wouldn't believe. Well, I love you too, Rugrat. What the heck? He's just giving me the eye. Oh my god. Well, pretty much boxing with them and swatting them in the head. So I guess her nails just like bloop, get him in the ear. Not bleeding or anything, but just missing a little bit of fur right there. Tiny little spot. I'm like, uh-huh. I can tell when you and her are horsing around. Especially if I'm sleeping. What? What's that, buddy? What is that, huh? What is that, Chief, huh? No, no swatting with your paw, please. No. Hey, quit. Quit, quit, quit. Stop. Stop. Stop it. Thank you. He is going to be a little old man next month, 7 years old, and Feisty will be 6. So I think I'm going to have a double birthday party for them. Hi, Mel. How are you? Hi, Amber. How was your Easter, Mel? Oh my gosh. Oh my God, you're still making dinner. Holy Hannah. I was up since 7 o'clock. I had everything done by 10:30, 11 o'clock. I'm actually tired, to be honest. I'm like yawning. How are you doing, Amber? Wow. It's so quiet, like here in town. Just crazy. Oh, ear infections. Ouch. Ow, ow, ow. I thought I was actually getting an ear infection like last week. My ears just felt weird. Always felt like I had water in my ears, but I didn't. And no, cranberry sauce is good. I could eat cranberry sauce any holiday. I love cranberry. Oh, we were done eating by like, oh my gosh, I want to say 4 o'clock. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better, Amber. Oh, what's up, buddy? What, feisty? What, sweetheart? Oh my goodness. Oh, shoot. What's up, little girl? I have 3 sons, honey. My oldest one is being a total, well, I can say it. My oldest son is being a total piece of shit at the moment. And so Ronnie and my middle son was here for dinner. I have chocolate, Rachel. I made a bunch of eggs. I made chocolate and peanut butter and coconut. But yeah, my oldest son is outside of Hazelton, and just being a real piece of work. Real piece of work. I sort of go through this, I want to say, once a year with him. Um, he gets a bug up his ass and plays the oh poor martyr me, and tries to make everybody feel bad for everything going on in his life, when a lot of his problems are because he keeps taking his wife back. His life goes a lot better for him when he doesn't have his wife with him. But nobody else sees that. Now, everybody else sees it, but not him. So it's just that now my mom is being drugged into it. And this is where I'm really starting to draw the line. Troll. I got my first troll. It just sort of figures. Well, I don't know if it's that love is blind, Amber. I think in my son's case, it's I'm a spineless jellyfish, and I can't stand up to my wife. Well, good for you, buddy. You like feet. Good for you. Well, see, here is the problem. My mom has dementia, and my mom, well, supposedly he was trying to get my mom put into a small private facility that actually is like about 6-7 blocks from my house, which would have worked out perfectly for me. I would have been able to go see her a lot, and it would have been nice. But he claimed that there was an issue with her insurance, which I think from the start they would have told him if there was a problem with her insurance. So I think he actually was full of shit. I think he's hesitant on putting my mom anywhere because of money. Well, it's not. Problem is, he tried to guilt trip me because I haven't been over to see my mother. Now, after my mom's birthday, there was a lot of fighting going on at my son's house. And I didn't want to go over because I didn't want to get caught up in my daughter-in-law's drama. And you really cannot blame someone for that. Hello, how are you? Happy Easter. So, I mean, that, was part of my reason for not wanting to go over. And then he had told me she was going through such a bad period there for a while that she was just very nasty, destroying things, cursing everyone, really being very hard to handle. So, hi, Mary, how are you? Happy Easter. So he had told me, don't even waste your time. So I haven't been over the house to see her. Now he's trying to guilt trip me and my other kids because supposedly he has to go back to work. Plus he has to get surgery soon. And the insurance won't pay for my mom to have 2 extra days of nurses or something because she has family. Now, I don't know if that's true, but I don't see right now, with everything going on, I don't see insurance wanting my son to have a bunch of family traipsing in and out of the house with an 80-year-old woman. I don't believe for a moment that they would expect anyone to just like come over there and take care of her. Hi, Deborah. How are you, honey? Happy Easter. Well, he tries a guilt trip. Well, I was actually hoping she would have been placed in the patrician because it would have been calmer for her. No fighting, no yelling, no cursing, no different riffraff in and out of the house. It would have been better, I think, for her. Definitely for her. And I wouldn't have had to deal with his wife. But they're not religious people, mind you. But they're calling me pathetic yesterday. They're sending me a whole bunch of messages on Messenger. Things like I'm going to get punished and God's something, my soul, and this and that. And it's like, okay. You people don't even step foot in a church. Who in the hell are either one of you to talk about God? Like, really? And then condemn me. Trying to say something like, how was it? You pick and choose when you want to see her. Well, that's because number one, you never know what type of mood your wife is in. Number two, you never know what riffraff might be crashing at your house. And number three, you don't know what kind of mood my mother is in. My mother can get very, very nasty. And if she is in a foul mood, forget it. Not even worth walking in the door. Like, if she's in a bad mood. So he said something, or no, my daughter-in-law said, don't worry, we won't bother you about her anymore, and this and that. And I said to Ronnie, I go, my oldest son forgets one thing. Even though he is on like her medical work and her Social Security, if she was to be put in the hospital for anything, I have no problem finding anything out, and I don't have to go through him. Because all I need to tell them is, I'm her daughter. He's her grandson. And I don't care what his name may be on, but I still have a closer relationship with her than he does. Oh, I know. My cousin's going through it with my uncle. My mom's brother has Alzheimer's. He is in a special care facility down in Philadelphia. So I don't know what my son seems to think right now during a pandemic that everybody is going to be able to do. So I think tomorrow I'm going to make a few calls and start with the Bureau of Aging and just see what I could find out about my mother. Because I think the reason my son hasn't placed her is money. Well, he talked my mom years ago out of giving up her apartment because he couldn't afford his house. Then after he got my mom moved in there, and she was a lot healthier than she is now, he moved his wife back. And my mother threw a fit when he moved his wife back home with him. And I almost was gonna have my landlord let me know if an apartment became empty here in this building, because I had kicked around the idea of letting her have her own apartment again, but not let her cook. You can't trust her around the stove. But he insisted that doctors would not sign for it. And I said, since when do I or your grandmother need a doctor to give you permission to go back to an apartment? Really? Well, here's how it all started yesterday. He sent me a picture of my mother. And he asked me, what is this? What do you think this is? My mom's eyes were all red, all around her eyes, red and swollen. And I said it looked like, a very bad allergic reaction. I said, did you use a new detergent? Did you get a new pet or, something? Is she on a new medication or, something? No, he said, I don't know what it is. Well, that's what I thought, but it's both eyes. Usually conjunctivitis, you get one damn eye. So I told him because all under here, literally she looks like a raccoon. Both her eyes, the skin is reddish brown. And I said, my God, why did you leave it get that bad? Take her to a doctor. You live a few blocks away from her doctor. Take her to the damn doctor. Oh, I can't take her to the doctor. Yes, you can. No, I can't with the virus. Don't mind me, guys. My sinuses are oh my God, killing me right now. Oh my God, killing me. So I said, well, the longer you leave it go, it's going to affect her vision. And you live a few blocks away from her family doctor. Take her to the doctor. I don't know if he's going to. I have no way of knowing. And it's just ridiculous. Yes, and then on top of it, Mary, I have allergies too. Year-round allergies, actually. And at least in the summer, finally, that clears up. Well, that's what I was trying to tell him. You could take her up to the ER. I said to him, as long as you put a mask on her, if you call ahead, and I said, tell them that you're bringing up an elderly lady who has some sort of eye infection, something with her eyes. Now, my mother has not been out in about 8 months. So it's not virus related. My daughter-in-law has been home for, I want to say, 5 months. And my granddaughters, they're home from school. They have not been out in a while. Neither has my son. So it's not that. It's not that. Anything to do with that. But I do believe that she caught some type of infection somehow. And I was like, my God, why did you leave it get this bad? Oh, it just started like that. I don't know about all that. I honestly don't know. But I really seriously hope that he does take her to get checked, because that's just horrible. Absolutely horrible. What are you doing? What is you doing? Everybody knows you're handsome, God. Well, that's what I said to him. If, like, God, she's 80 years old. Like, my God, take her to go get checked. And I don't know if he's afraid to go into a medical facility, or if he is afraid that they will admit her. I said, listen, the hospital, one part is separated from the other. So really, honestly, I think I know we're a hot spot right now, but a lot of people are recovering from it. So it's the idea that I got a little nasty with him, and I said, what the hell are you waiting for? Please go get her checked. And then after the horrible things that his wife said to me and that, it's like, I don't know if he did or didn't take her. I have no way of knowing. But my oldest son wanted me and my son Bobby to be more involved. And my son Bobby said, okay, I will be more involved. He said, definitely. He was like, yeah, I will be making some phone calls too, he said, Mom. He goes, and maybe, he goes, we need to have their house checked out again. My mom had a nurse a while ago. Oh, he's always deep cleaning, Rachel, always. Back in the fall, my mom had this one nurse, and my son got her fired. Randy got her fired because he said that she was a troublemaker. And I said, well, how was she a troublemaker? And he said, oh, she would come here and ask Bram, Beverly, has anything been going on at the house? And this and that and that and this. And do you feel safe? And this and that. And my son was like, I thought she was starting trouble. I got her fired. Okay. Why do you feel she was starting trouble? Because she was asking her questions like that. I'm like, yeah, but maybe she said something to the nurse that made her feel, a certain way. I said, they are trained to be observant. And I mean, anytime you turned around, there was some of my daughter in law's relatives were staying there for a bit. Then there was some guy sleeping on a couch. I never knew who he was. Some guy was sleeping on the couch, and my son wasn't happy about it. But rather than exactly, that's what I said, being concerned. Yeah. Um, Rather than having the spine and telling the guy to get the hell out of the house, he is like a spineless jellyfish with his wife. And so I was like, yeah, I don't know here. I don't know what the heck is going on. I don't. I think it's all about money. Now, my son was an assistant manager at Lowe's. He made good money. Literally about, I want to say, $1,100 every 2 weeks. So even with his wife just working part-time, they should have been able to afford their house pretty good. So why would you need to take $400, $500 off of my mom who only gets $783? And then when my mother would bitch about him taking that much money on her, he would say to her, well, according to Social Security, you have to pay so much for staying here. Hi, Terry. Hello. How are you? Happy Easter. Now, I don't know. Like, my son failed to realize that because my mother was living with him, that her food stamps would get cut, that her insurance would give him a hard time with certain things, her prescriptions, like a lot of different things. So I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't think it's good for my mother to be living in a situation where one never knows that my daughter-in-law isn't going to go walk out the door and go find somebody and go do meth. I don't care how much my son helped her get off of the stuff. She should have went to a rehab. We had a nice quiet Easter, Terry. Thank you. Yeah, Ronnie and I are home a lot. When he goes for a walk, he goes for a walk in the woods. Hello, Lori. Happy Easter. So my son Bobby said that, Debbie, if I could do it quickly, I would. I would. I don't even like have a car to take her to a doctor. I remember the one time my son asked me and my ex-boyfriend to go over and pick her up, take her for her one test. And I went over to get her. She refused to get out of bed. And my boyfriend at the time got very, very aggravated And he almost stranded me over there in Freeland because my mother refused to get out of bed. She told me to go F myself, go to hell. She wasn't going, and told me to get the hell out of the house. So I called them up and I said, yeah, you're going to have to reschedule that test because I am not fighting with a old woman. I'm not doing it. I'm just not doing it. Happy Easter, Labella. How are you? Well, like I said, it was really, really weird because the way my son was saying, she was going to be going to a place called the Patrician. And that's within walking distance of where I live. So I was actually looking forward to her being there because it would have been so much easier for me to go see her. And now it's like last minute, supposedly her insurance was an issue. They would have checked her insurance out right from the start. So they wouldn't have waited till last minute to have a problem with her insurance. That would be the first thing they would ask, her insurance. I hear you, Yavella. Yeah, Lavella, I'm so sorry. I'm getting tongue-tied today. Just like we all are trying to make the best of crazy situation, honey. Well, that's why my son Bobby said, oh, they want us to get involved. Well, he goes, then we should oblige, Mom, he said, and we should become involved. We should become very, very involved. So I have to see tomorrow what my son Bob has up his sleeve. Bob is definitely pretty sharp. And yeah, he had said to me, yeah, Mom, he goes, let me think on this, he says, tomorrow, he said, okay? He goes, but yeah, if they want us to be involved, well, we need to oblige, he said, and we need to be involved. Not with them, he said, but with Graham. I said, yeah, you're right. You're right. Well, I know my oldest son lies because he told me that he had not heard from my son when my son got out of jail. And come to find out, Bobby had used his friend's cell phone when he got out, and he took a screenshot of the messages he sent like basically saying, hey, I was not in a good place the past couple of months. I was in jail. Also, he was having some issues with drugs back around after the holidays. And he's in a much better place now than he was months ago. So when he sent me the screenshot that he did get in touch with his brother, and my oldest son said, no, I never heard from him. No, I never heard from him. And I know he's lying through his teeth. Well, see, Bob's friend's mom is an RN at the hospital here in town. And two of her cousins, I believe, do home health care. They work with the one agency that works with the hospital here in town. One is a nurse. Well, one is an RN, and I think the other one is an LPN. And they are the nurses that, like, say you have surgery or something, and they will come to your home for X number of days to, like, check on a wound, see if it's healing, things like that. So I have a feeling that Bob might get in touch with his friend's mom, to get in touch with her cousins, and to try to get a feel for who handles people through the Bureau of Aging. And he may start expressing some concerns and say, I would like someone to, check on my grandmother. My mom apparently needs to be somewhere that specifically handles dementia and Alzheimer's. And okay, Lori, thank you. I'll have to look that up a little later. Thank you. That's probably along the lines he might be thinking, or maybe talking to his friend's mom, being that she's a nurse locally. My son said, Randy said that my mom almost blew up a microwave. She put a metal pan into a microwave. So she really needs round-the-clock care. She's past the point of just living with someone. And if somebody is going to do that, almost blow up a microwave, then I think that these nurses in that maybe are not quite doing their job, these home health aides or whatever they are, because they should be observing these things and listening to things too. And if they see that, she is getting harder for them to handle, I mean, wouldn't they have the clout to make recommendations too? I mean, I don't know. I just don't know what to think. I mean, I know when we were there for her birthday, she looked at me for like a minute or two, and you could tell she's trying to think, who is this? And then it dawns on her, oh, Sharon. Oh my God, she said. And she was like, come here. And I went over and I gave her a hug. My mom didn't register who I was right away. I could tell by the puzzled look on her face. I know that. So, I mean, it seems to me that doctors, well, see, this is what I kept telling my son months ago. Take her for an assessment. Take her for an assessment. Plus, he said that she is completely deaf now, that she can't afford a hearing aid. Well, she can't afford a hearing aid because you take 2/3 of her check. I would think that getting her hearing aid should be more important than you paying your heating bill with her money. And I remember months ago I did snap at him about that. I said, you mean to tell me for 1 month you can't cover your heating bill and give my mother her damn hearing aid? Really? Really? So, really, I think that's terrible. Well, the one nurse did, honey. The one nurse did. And my son got her fired. My son, Randy, got her fired. So, when my oldest son said, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, his wife didn't like them. Yep, my son reported her to the home health agency she was working for, and said that she was trying to start trouble, pump my mother up, because, what do you say? My wife has family members staying here, and my grandmother doesn't like them being here, but oh well, she's going to have to deal with it. And because she complained to the nurse about it, I guess the nurse was going to make some sort of complaint, and my son told her straight up that it was none of her business. Well, my mother flipped out on the kids. She took all their clean laundry and threw it in the garbage. In the garbage that had coffee grounds in, and dirty diapers, and cigarette butts, and food wrappers, and everything else. My mom took all of their clean laundry and just threw it in a garbage bag. And my son screamed at her. He yelled at my mother something fierce about that. He did. He had told her he was going to put her somewhere, and she had said, good, as long as I get the hell out of here. She said, good, as long as I'm the hell out of here. She said, I don't care. Which, in a way, makes me wonder if maybe my mom isn't maybe milking it just a little bit. I mean, I know she is having issues. I'm wondering if she might be faking maybe a little bit of it, or as bad, maybe in the hopes that she will get out of there. Because I guess she figures if she really disrupts the house enough, they will be happy to get her out of there. Well, yes, with her schedule, it was. Okay, thank you, Lori. Thank you. I'll have to text my son Bobby before he goes to sleep. Well, I think it's deplorable that she doesn't have a cell phone. And he had said, well, she can't hear it. And I had said, well, take her to get her hearing checked, which he did. But then he had said to me, well, she needs a hearing aid. But Mom, he said, do you know how expensive they are? I said, yeah. But now here's the ironic thing. I dug around online and I found two different small grants that would have helped some money for my mom's hearing aid. All my son needed to do was provide proof of her income, the results of her hearing test, her proof of her insurance, and he never filled out the paperwork. That is very possible. That is very possible. And he tries to guilt trip me, and he says, she doesn't feel like she is a daughter anymore because you don't come over and see her. Well, when they were separated, I refused to go over to the house because his wife was on 4 or 5 day meth binges. Why would I walk in that door? I did say to him, is somebody checking on my mother? I had said to him, do I need to make a few phone calls and get her out of there? I said, because I do not trust her. I said, your wife around my mother. Yes, the nurses are checking on her. Okay, and the point is what? They're going to wonder, well, where are you? What is your wife going to say? And he was like, oh, well, Jaden's there, this and that. I said, Jaden is a teenage girl. It is not her job to look after her great grandmother. Well, he used to, this is what I thought was really sad. I printed up the paperwork for him, I gave it to him, and I had said to him, if you take it to the audiologist, they will be happy to fill it out. And I had said to him, you know, if you go and set up some type of payment arrangement with them, I am sure they can work somehow, some way with getting her a hearing aid. I know there is a Bureau of Aging. There's a Pennsylvania Department of Aging. I'm gonna have to do a little digging before I go to bed. I don't know about ALPS. I believe there is some sort of council on aging. Oh my God, Audrey, you should see the horrible, horrible shit that they said to me in on Messenger yesterday. If I could have found a ride over to Freeland, I think I would have gotten a ride over to Freeland, and I think I probably would have busted their damn door down. Yeah, but instead of my son being mature enough to have a disagreement with me, he has to go bellyache to his wife like a spineless jellyfish and then have her yell at me. And it was like, okay. I don't see, that's the problem, Jude. I don't know anything like this because my son handles everything. When my mom's health started deteriorating, he was the one that took her to doctors and everything because he has a car. So my son knows all of that. If she has a worker, I don't know anything like that. Well, the person that used meth was his wife. That's the problem. The person they used the meth is his idiot wife. And that's what makes it bad, because they were separated for a while. Now, my wife at some point his wife is going to be at some point going to court, and she got charged with possession. She wrecked their car. She tested hot for meth. And then my son didn't like how the local newspaper mentioned the fact that his wife had 5 DUIs. And I said to him, well, after 5 DUIs, do you really think the newspaper is going to make her out to be a pillar of the community? I said to him, come on, Randy. Oh, well, they make her out to be so bad. I go, because a person who has had 5 DUIs is not a smart person. Oh, I know. Trust me, I went through things with Ronnie's dad many, many years ago. I know all about drugs. Trust me. Not myself on a personal thing, but yeah. Well, that's the second time in her life she messed around with meth. So, oh, my son doesn't want her out though, Judy. He doesn't want her out. No, he's probably going to be heartbroken if his wife goes to jail. She flipped on her daughter, and my son was staying in a hotel for 3 weeks with my oldest granddaughter. My granddaughter couldn't even go in the house to get her clothes because of her mother. Her mother had been on a 4-day drug binge. And yet, at some point, my son went back and took his daughter back. But yet, the wife, the drug addict, all last summer would not let my granddaughter stay here because I encouraged her to fight with her mother. I never encouraged this girl to fight with her mother. She fights with her mother because her mother is messed up in the damn head. Thank you, Deborah. Hello, Cindy. How are you? Happy Easter. Yes, Audrey. And the worst thing is, she never really had much of a personality to begin with. So I can only imagine what she's like on meth because being sober, her personality isn't that great. I swear my son just has no brains anymore. No brains. No brains whatsoever. Because if he did, he would have got rid of his wife a long time ago. Because she is trouble with a capital T. He has spent over the years thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on lawyers for her. When she had her DUI years ago, he spent $9,000 on an attorney for her to keep her out of jail. And she went to jail for 3 weeks. So, yeah. Not a good situation. No, you can't get along with somebody like that. They're just too unpredictable. It's crazy. Oh, yeah, my daughter-in-law wasn't around for like 4 days. My granddaughter was literally feeding my mom and feeding her. And I didn't even know what was going on because my son wasn't home either. He left the house because of his wife and left his daughter there, basically responsible for his grandmother, which I yelled at him about. I said, she's 16 years old, not her job to take care of her great grandmother. Either I said, get your ass back home or throw your wife out the damn door. Like, what is wrong with you? So finally, my oldest granddaughter called her father up and said, Dad, have you heard from Mom? No, why? Well, I haven't seen her for 4 days. I thought you might want to know. That was when she got into the accident. Well, Patty, you know what? I I have to talk to my son Bobby tomorrow, but when he left here and said, you know, Mom, they want us to be more involved, I definitely think we need to make it our business to be more involved. Very involved, he said. So much involved, he said, that they're going to hate us. I said, well, they already hate us. Who cares? I mean, I find it disgraceful that he's going to leave my mom sit there tone deaf so she can't hear anything. And it's okay for him to pay his heating bill because, quote unquote, my mom jacks the heat up. Okay. Like, can't you take that couple of $100 and go at least put it down on a hearing aid for your grandmother? I am really surprised that, like, a doctor that wouldn't be like, why can't you get her one? And then he starts, with the, well, I have to pay the difference for this. I have to pay the difference for that. Well, she lives with you. When you asked her to move in with you 12 years ago when she was in a lot better shape, you never foresaw that your grandmother's health was going to go down, but it did. You talked her into moving out of her building, helping you, and like you, how do I say it? You can't even, like, I don't know, I would be embarrassed that I took money out of my 401k to get my wife a lawyer to keep her out of jail. But my grandmother needs like $1,500 or $1,800 or something for a hearing aid. She can sit there and be deaf. I have to keep my wife out of jail. That's what burned my ass. When he told me he took, was it $9,000 or $10,000 out of his 401k last year to get a lawyer for her, I'm thinking, well, you more than had the money to go pay for a hearing aid for your grandmother. You could have literally walked into that audiologist's office and said, here, order whatever one you think is best for her, blah, 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 yada, yada. Yeah, exactly. When he had told me, Audrey, that he took $9,000 or $10,000 out of his 401k last year to get her a lawyer, well, he had money to, at the very least, put a substantial payment on a hearing aid for my mom. I mean, I feel if you have her living there with you, you do need to take care of the woman. You assume that responsibility. Then he's trying to say, oh, you still harbor resentment against her for, things that you and her argued about many years ago. I said, no, you idiot. I said, I'm not that petty. Like, really grow up. I said if that was the case, I wouldn't even have been there at her birthday if I was that petty of a person. Well, yes, Amber, she should, because of all the times over the years that my mom helped him. How many security deposits she gave my son for apartments when him and his wife were fighting, and then he moved the bitch back in with him. Well, that should be the thing, taking care of her, yes, but well, I'm going to be making some phone calls tomorrow, trust me. Really, Lori, I did not know that. My son told me they're a couple of $1,000s. Now, here's another thing I'm wondering. My mom should be getting money from that economic stimulus. My son should get it, and his wife. Well, I don't know about his wife because she essentially got fired. And she couldn't collect because it's a drug charge. So my mom probably doesn't even know about that economic stimulus. They're going to take her money with that. I wasn't aware they were not that expensive. Okay. Thank you for telling me that. I don't know if he has power of attorney. I know he is the one that handles all of my mom's medical, and he handles her paperwork with Social Security and that. But I don't really know as far as power of attorney. I think power of attorney, he would have to have my mom declared incompetent, and I don't know how a person goes about doing that. Yeah, well, she probably doesn't even know about her stimulus. Well, I'm going to be making some phone calls tomorrow. Trust me. Believe me, guys. I will be making some phone calls tomorrow. Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. She might not even be aware of it, that she's getting that money and they're just going to take it. Or he's going to say to her, oh, well, I need to use your money to get this for you, to get that for you, to pay this for you, yada, yada, yada. And my mom does not question it. Because I couldn't even tell you the last time my mom had a doctor's appointment. I don't know. Oh, most definitely, yes, they will. They will. Because his wife isn't working. Pretty much, yep. Yep. Well, yeah, because her health is such that she can't go anywhere by herself. Her heart's very weak. And they live at the bottom of a hill, so my mom would never ever make it trying to walk up the hill. She couldn't. She couldn't do it. Yes, Sherry, I did know that. Yeah, see, I don't know. My son doesn't. My son is not the type of kid to like call me up and be like, "Hey, ma, how you doing? What's new with you? Hope everything's okay." No, my other kids were like that when Ronnie was living out of town years ago. He used to call me up every couple of days. Hey, mom, how are you? What you doing? Same with Bob. But Randy, I would not hear from him for months. And then when I would hear from him, it would be like, "Oh, can you do this for me?" Or "Can you help me out here? Do this or do that," or blah, blah, blah. Never, "Hey, mom, how are you?" And I said to him, how many times? The only time you want to know me or your brothers is if you want something or need us to do something. Otherwise, we're not on your radar, I said. Hey, Debbie, happy Easter. Well, my son had her bank card about 2 years ago because he used to say that my mother used to spend money stupidly. And he got sick and tired of her, he said, blowing money, he said, on things that she just shouldn't waste her money on. So he had to take her bank card off of her the other year for like 3 months. And my mother threw a fit about it because at one point she said, "Give me my card," or she said, I'll call the bank and tell them that you stole it. Well, then my son gave it back to her. Well, according to my son, my mother jacks the heat up. Now, to be honest, my son's house is cold in the winter. When we were over there in January for my mom's birthday, it was cold. I mean, literally, like I had a blanket wrapped around me. I was chattering. And I had a hood on over my shirt. I had a hood on. I was cold. And my granddaughter brought me down a blanket, and I had a blanket on over my hood. So my son keeps the house very, very bare minimum heat to save money. Yeah, it was quiet here, Debbie. It was pretty quiet around town, actually. Not that I expected it not to be, but oh, I heard from one of my kids yesterday, my oldest son. I kind of wish I hadn't, but yeah. No, you're right, Mary. More money for them. So it's not like my son really is paying a lot of money for the heat because to me his houses are always cold. And no wonder my mother um, turns around and cranks the heat up because it gets very chilly. Yeah, but see, Audrey, my son's not doing the meth. My son takes very rare epileptic seizures. And he bitches that his electric bill will be $400 or $500 a month with the heat, and he can't afford it. I don't know how, because you figure his wife was working at one point 40 hours a week. He was working 50 hours a week. Between the two of them alone, how could they not afford the bills? I don't know. It's just it's horrible. Well, I know they do smoke weed in the house. I do know that. Because when we were there for my mom's birthday, they made us wait almost 2 hours to let my mom have her cake. And we were downstairs like, what the hell are they doing upstairs? That my mom was tired, she wanted her cake, and she wanted to go to bed. And I said to my granddaughter, what in the hell are they doing upstairs? And she rolled her eyes, and I'm like, well, how much weed does she need to smoke? I said before, you know, um, she'll come out of her coffin and come downstairs. Oh, I don't feel sad about his situation. He'll always have his nose up his wife's ass. That's never going to change. My day was nice, Debbie. It was quiet. I'm just talking about some things that went on yesterday, which weren't nice, with my oldest son and his horrible wife. And they pretty much have my mom in the middle of things. And I don't like her being in the middle of things. Treat, buddy? Want a treat? Do you want a treat, buddy? Hang on. Watch, guys. I am going to give him a treat. Now, you all seen the cupboard he likes to go in. Oh, yeah, you know what he's here for. Come on, over here, over here. Oh, well, yeah, not under my foot. Here. Here, Feisty. That's what he was doing. He was begging. Bigger boy. Bigger boy. Here, Mama. Here, Feisty. There you go. Good girl. There, that is it. Okay, okay, can I please have my screen back? Thank you. Oh, no, Audrey, they tried to put a guilt trip on me, and they're not going to tell me if anything happens with my mother, and I'm pathetic, and this and that, and it's like, no, I was thinking to myself last night, I'm not the pathetic one. You are, that you have to use your grandmother, because I was very close to my grandmother, and I never would have thought of doing a quarter of the things, or asking my grandmother for a quarter of the help that my oldest son got from his grandmother. It's just crazy. Feisty is actually behind my laptop. Oh, she could be abusive without the drugs, Mary. That is why she wouldn't let my oldest granddaughter stay over here. Because she would start an argument with her daughter. Like when my granddaughter used to come over here, she would get home and her mom would start an argument with her. Oh, what the hell were you and your grandmother doing? And Jaden would tell her, whatever. And she'd be like, oh, and did you go meet any boys? And all this other stupid shit. And my granddaughter would get mad and they would start fighting. Well, that's part of the reason why, when my son was not there and my granddaughter wasn't there, why would I walk into a house with a meth addict there? Like, my son was insane if he thought either me or my other sons were going to walk in the house and deal with that shit. No. Oh my God, Audrey. That's horrible. Ay, 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 ay. That is horrible. That's scary, definitely. Good God. Oh my God, yes. Yes. Absolutely. Yes, definitely. I would take no chances with someone that's on drugs. Nope. Well, the holidays are nice. It's sometimes the nonsense you got to go through with family, but that's not nice. Yeah, I mean, I enjoy cooking and that, and definitely enjoy eating the coconut and peanut butter eggs. Well, I remember on my mom's birthday when we were over there, my daughter-in-law was getting really, really rude with her. And Ronnie was gonna say something to her because my daughter-in-law was like snapping her fingers in front of my mother, like, Beverly, Beverly, look at me. Here, here. Look at me, she goes. Hello? And Ronnie had said to me, can I punch her in the face now or later? I said, neither. And he was like, that's ignorant. Why is she saying that, to Graham? I go, because she's just being a snobby bitch. Thank you, Mary. Thank you. Well, my mom was fine for us when we took pictures. But when my daughter-in-law tried to take pictures, like, she didn't want to listen to her. Like, my mom was just like, whatever. Like, my mother can't stand her. My mother never could stand her. I agree with you, Lori. I agree. Weeks ago, my son said that he would do a video chat with my mom so I could talk to her. Never happened. Never happened. But he will twist that around and say that we are isolating ourselves from her. When the truth be told, nobody wants to be at that house because of his wife. And that's the bottom line. Like, no, nobody wants to be there because of her. Yeah, I asked him 3 different times. I said, when are you going to do a video chat so I could talk to her, at least, let her know I was like, thinking about her so she could see me. Yeah, exactly. And then he says, oh, it bothers me seeing her go downhill. Well, she's gone downhill fast around then. Thank you, Amber. Yeah, he does. Oh, he got into a fist fight with Tara. She, Oreo? Hang on a sec, guys. That was weird. Oreo. Oh, there you are, Nut. What are you doing? Oh, that was really weird. Ronnie got into a fight with Tara about 4 or 5 years ago, and she got the best of him. She really did. They apologized to each other like weeks and weeks later, but she got the best of him. I'm glad you like those cream eggs. They turned out so good. I mean, he said, oh, it breaks my heart to see my grandmother um, going downhill so bad and this and that, and you don't care. It's like, yeah, I do care, but I don't want to go in your house. Like I said, I would have been happy if my mom had been placed in the patrician. That would have been close for me. Um, I could have popped over practically every day to see her. So, yeah, it's just, I don't know. Not a good situation. Not a good situation. What? No. Oh, Mary, the wife is a pain in the ass. She thinks she's Marilyn Monroe. And I'm very serious when I say that. She thinks she's Marilyn Monroe. Feisty. Oreo, stop. Whoa. Yeah, she's, no, she does. She thinks she's Marilyn Monroe. About 12 years ago, she did a modeling shoot where she had her hair blonde at the time. She had her hair shorter. She wore a red dress and basically did this photo shoot trying to recreate some of Marilyn Monroe's famous pictures. The photography was nice, don't get me wrong. But um, the photography was really nice, but yeah. Just absolutely crazy. Guys, can you hear me? It says unable to connect to chat, but my internet is on. And my live stream is still going, so Hello? Okay, that is really, really weird. Oreo jumped over the laptop and then it said unable to connect. No. It said unable to connect to chat. Please try again later. Hello? Okay. Hello? Does anyone hear me? All right, guys. Well, I don't know what's going on. I'm not hearing from anyone. So I'm going to end the chat. It was fine until Oreo jumped over. Nobody is replying back. So I'm going to end the chat. I'm really glad that you guys jumped on to talk. Take care. I'm glad everyone's Easter was okay. And I will see you guys tomorrow with a new video. Good night. And just have a good night, guys. I will talk to everybody tomorrow. Bye.